Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very, very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes drugstore makeup. Don't get sucked into high-end luxury makeup, even makeup sold at Sephora, because there are so many amazing drugstore brands out there that rival the much more expensive brands. So today we are doing a full face of drugstore makeup. Some of these are my favorites. Some of these are going to be products that I'm trying for the very first time. You can find all of these products at your local drugstore as well as at Ulta. So if you're excited for a full face of affordable, amazing makeup, give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell notification is turned on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. I will link all of the products down below for you with the lowest price that I can find. If there happens to be any discounts or promo codes or anything, I'll put all of that down in the description box for you. In the description box, you'll also find my favorite beauty subscription boxes, as well as come on over, follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. So I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to do a full face of affordable drugstore makeup. So you can see that my face is definitely a different color than my body. I am self-tanned and I never actually self-tan my body, but I wanted to get ready today because I'm spending the morning with my mother-in-law. We're going to a little town called Tubac, Arizona. I've never been before. Apparently it's some cute little quaint town with lots of shops. So we're going to go have some coffee and just spend a couple hours together. So I'm excited for that. I actually just got home from exercising. I went on a long walk this morning, hence why I'm wearing workout clothes. But I digress. So I'm ready to put on some makeup and get started for my day. So the first product we're trying out is something brand new to me. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Booster Drops. If you follow me here on my channel, you know that I put the Glow Recipe niacinamide drops on my face every single morning, and they're pretty pricey. It's about $34 a bottle, and I saw that e.l.f. had a hydration boosting drop for really affordable. So I thought we could give this a try today and see if we get that same kind of glowy effect that we get from the Glow Recipe, and this may be a really good dupe for that. This feels very similar on the skin. It's a little bit thicker formula, and you can just feel that it instantly hydrates your face as you apply it. So far, so good. I do have my skincare on as well as sunscreen that I put on prior to taking my walk this morning. I do like to let that dry down a little bit before I go in with my primer. So for today's primer, we're using one from Flower Beauty. This is the Celestial Whip Primer. This is a canned primer that comes out foamy. It actually reminds me a little bit of the foaming soap, and it is a really, really nice primer. I picked this up quite a while ago and hadn't even used it. And then when I started using it, I noticed that not only does it put this really pretty glow on your skin, it also really helps keep your makeup on all day. It does have a little bit of a scent to it. It's kind of a florally scent, maybe. It's not overpowering, and once it dries down on your face, you don't smell it. Like, you don't smell it under your makeup throughout the day. But it is a really great primer and really, really affordable. This is a holy grail product for me. I use this every single day. This is the Milani Supercharged Under Eye Tint. So what this is it is a tint. It is kind of a peach color, and we know that peach counteracts darkness. So I like to use this under my eyes, and I even bring it up onto my lid, and it just gets rid of any darkness that you have on or around your eyes. You can see that that really just evened out the darkness under my eyes, and it just is a really good base before you apply foundation and concealer. For foundation, we're using really one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations from NYX. This is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I am in the color Buff. This is a 24-hour foundation, and let me just tell you, this foundation works really well, and it is definitely full coverage, but it feels really light on the skin. It doesn't feel or look like a full coverage foundation, but it definitely covers everything. I just go ahead and bounce that into my skin. Now this color is a little bit light for me when I'm self-tanned, but you can always remedy that by mixing it with a darker foundation, or you can really just bronze up your skin to make your face match your body if your body is a little bit more tanned than your face. It's a really, really nice foundation, and that was just one layer. I don't have to apply more foundation to get the coverage, and it just looks really, really nice on the skin. For concealer, we're using one of my all-time favorites. This is from Catrice, and this is the True Skin Concealer. Now, I am in my mid-40s, and I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes, and I need a concealer that isn't going to settle in those fine lines and wrinkles the minute it's applied. And this one works really, really well. It has a nice big doe foot applicator, and I do usually apply concealer in just a couple areas on my face. I do go pretty light under my eyes because I don't want to highlight the fine lines, and too much concealer is too much concealer, so I like to go a little bit lighter, especially under my eyes. And then I like to put it around my nose and my T-zone area just to highlight that area and do a little bit of extra coverage. I am going to go ahead and bring my concealer up onto my eyelid as well. That way it'll serve as my eyeshadow primer. It just adds that little bit of brightness in the T-zone area. And like I said, just covers any blemishes up. That is the place that a lot of us do get blemishes. So it just does a good job of doing the under eye and then highlighting and covering up any additional blemishes. I like to immediately set my under eye, again, just to avoid any creasing. So the powder that we're gonna be using to set our under eye and for our face is a holy grail. This is an amazing, amazing powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I have it in light medium. Sometimes I'll get a little bit lighter shade to set my under eyes, and sometimes I just go with whatever shade that I'm going to set my face with, which is what we're going to do today. So I always like to just give it one quick tap just to make sure there's no creasing, and then set it with the powder. This powder is very finely milled. It is tinted. They do also sell translucent if you prefer that over a tinted powder. But I really, really like this powder, and it works really, really well under the eye and to set the face. It doesn't look cakey under the eye at all and does not settle into those fine lines. I'm going to go ahead and set my powder aside. I'm going to set my face once I apply my cream products. Now, I love cream products because, again, being in my mid-40s, I find that they look a little fresher and a little more youthful on my skin. I always start with the cream product, finish with the powder product, but my big tip for you is to make sure you're applying your cream products under your powder. So do not set your face until you've applied all of your cream products. So the first cream product I always use is a contour stick, and this is actually from Wet n Wild. This is their contour stick, and I have the shade Oaks on You. That's pretty funny. So for contour, for cream contour, I like to go right into my cheekbone, that little dip of your cheekbone. And then I like to go under my chin. I always apply a little bit to my nose and my forehead. So that's really where I like to contour, and then taking a beauty sponge, I just blend that out. And it just helps not only add a little bit of color to your face, especially because my foundation is a little bit light, but it also just helps define those areas on your face that you want to define, that you want to chisel out and snatch your face. The cream contour, that's really what it's designed for. You can see that it just defines the cheekbones, adds that little bit of darkness under the chin. That's great to disguise a double chin. And then my nose, I'll finish the contouring on my nose with some highlighter. And then of course, where the sun hits on my forehead. The other cream product that I absolutely love and I use every day is cream blush. And there is a cream blush stick that came out a little while ago that I have truly fallen in love with. And it's from the brand NYX, and this is the Wonder Stick. You can see this is a double-ended stick. One side of the stick is darker than the other side so that it helps kind of contour and add that dimension to the cheeks. It's really, really easy to use. So starting with the dark end, we're going to apply that closer to the hollow of our cheek. And then that lighter end, we're going to put that right above the darker shade. So you can see that I have the dark shade on the bottom, the lighter shade on the top, and then we're going to blend it out from there. Now to blend it out, you can use a beauty sponge or you can use a kabuki brush. I prefer to use a brush to blend out my cream blush. So I'm just going to start blending. I like to pull that up kind of towards my temple to give it a little bit darker here and then fade in a little bit lighter. And then I always pull that over my nose. And I put a little blush on my forehead and a little blush on my chin. And then just blend until you have the desired darkness of your blush. And remember, we are actually going to powder over this, so it is going to lighten it up quite a lot. This really truly is such an amazing product, and it's like getting 2 cream blushes in one. I love, love, love it. And I have the shade Coral and Deep Peach. I think it comes in 3 different combinations. I'm definitely ordering the other 2, but I do really like this whole Coral Peach vibe for summer. Now I'm ready to go ahead and set my face. So I've applied my 2 cream products, which is cream contour and cream blush. Cute sponge from Beauty Blender. This is amazing for applying powder products. So I'm going back into the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and then you just dab it into your skin and it just sinks right in with this little beauty blender. This is actually something you can purchase at Sephora, so I'll link it down below for you. I have 3 of them because as soon as I realized how amazing this product was, I went ahead and ordered a couple more just in case it didn't stick around, but I believe that it is still on the Sephora website, so I'll make sure that I find it and link it for you. It just works really well to press the powder into your skin rather than using a brush. And I find that you lose or waste less product too, because it goes directly onto the sponge and directly onto your skin. Definitely pick this powder up. It's incredible. After I've set my face, I go in with my powder products. So we're going to start with bronzer. This matte bronzer from NYX is so good. I have the shade Deep Tan. It is such a great bronzer. It is the perfect warm tone bronzer, which is my preferred. They also have cool tone bronzers as well. I find that it buffs into the skin really, really well, and it doesn't cake up on the skin. So we are going to apply bronzer similarly to where we applied cream contour, and we want to really focus on the areas of our face that the sun hits. So I always put a little bit of bronzer in my cheekbone and then bring that up to my temple. And like I said, it blends out really, really easily. It's also very pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. And then I always bring that bronzer under my chin and then buff it in. And bring that down your neck just a little bit as well, just so that it blends. And then I always apply bronzer to my forehead because remember, we're focusing on where the sun hits. And then I bring that all the way over and connect it with where I applied it when I did my cheekbones. I also really like to blend that a little bit more into my hairline just so it's a little bit more seamless. And then lastly, I just put a little bit of bronzer on my nose and on my chin. Now I am all sun-kissed and you can see that my face now matches my body much better. Such a great drugstore bronzer. After I apply powder bronzer, then I'm going to go lightly over my cream blush with a powder blush. And once again, NYX products are really good for drugstore. This is their Sweet Cheeks line, and I have the shade Rose and Play. This is very much a bright pink blush, but when you apply it to the cheeks, it definitely tames down a little bit, and it's not as crazy and pink as it looks in the pan. And I like to just put that right on top of that set cream blush, so you can see that it just adds that little bit of pink versus this side that doesn't have that little bit of pink. It's like I said, it's definitely not as intense on the cheeks as it is in the pan. I think that looks really pretty and just, again, adds that kind of summery sun-kissed glow. Also, if you follow me, you know I love highlighter. Highlighter is one of my very favorite makeup products, and I really debated on picking up this highlighter from Makeup Revolution. You also may know, if you follow me, that I don't love Makeup Revolution, but I do watch Teresa is Dead here on YouTube. I'll make sure that I link her channel down below for you. And she raved about this highlighter, and she, like me, loves highlighter, so I picked it up. And it is worth the hype. It is so, so good. This is the Makeup Revolution X Simpsons highlighter, and it is a duo highlighter. So you can see that there's more of a pink highlight and there's more of a white champagne colored highlight. This is the Summer of Love First Kiss Ombre highlighter. And like I said, I wasn't sure about it because I do not care for Makeup Revolution for the most part. This highlighter is so good. You can pick up from just the gold side, or you can pick up from the pink side, or both. So there is that more champagne-y gold highlight, and then there is the more pink icy highlight. So like I said, you could pick up each color individually, or you can swirl your brush in both of them and have that more two-toned highlight look. So I think for today, I'm going to focus more on the pink side. I want you to see what just one of these two colors looks like, but they are so beautiful. Both of these highlights are beautiful. So I like to start right about the apple of my cheek and then pull up, getting a little bit closer to my temple, but staying fairly close to my brow. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Not only is it beautiful and glow from within, it also blends so beautifully into the skin. It doesn't sit on top of the skin. I mean, it actually blends in. And this is, I think it's about a $6 highlighter. And I just can't believe how beautiful and high quality it is for drugstore and for Makeup Revolution. Now, of course, you can go as light or as heavy on your highlight as you want. I love highlighter. I don't think you can ever have too much highlighter. So I generally will really try to buff that into my skin until I have that really pretty Scene from Space highlight. I also will, like I mentioned, contour my nose with highlight. So I usually bring that right down the bridge of my nose. And then I love to put a little highlight right above my brows, and then kind of over where I applied bronzer, and that just gives that really pretty sun-kissed glow to the forehead. And then I like to have a glow stash or a little highlighter mustache that goes right above my upper lip. And then I put the tiniest bit on my chin, because remember, with bronzer, with highlighter, we want to apply it where the sun hits. But I just want you to see how stunning this highlighter is. Absolutely a must have. Now my complexion products are done and we're ready to move into my eyes. I'm pretty excited about this little eyeshadow palette. This is a $3.99 eyeshadow palette. I've used this palette a couple times, and for being a $3.99 eyeshadow palette from Essence, it is really good quality, very pigmented, buttery shadows. This is the Coral Me Maybe palette, little 6-pan palette from Essence. It does have a mirror, and here are your shades. I love that there is a lighter matte, a very deep matte. There's 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, and this $3.99 palette is such good quality. So this is actually what we're going to apply to my eyes today, because I think I'm going to go with an orangey corally dress to go meet my mother-in-law today. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this lighter peach shade on the bottom, and I'm going to use that in my crease as my transition and as the lightest color in the crease, and then that way I can build up that outer corner for depth with that deep shade in the palette. Look how beautifully pigmented that is. That was one swipe in with my brush, and look at how much payoff we got for color. I mean, it is insane how good this little $3.99 eyeshadow palette is. I am going to build that up a little bit. That's another great thing about this palette, is it is 100% buildable. And you'll see when I apply that deeper brown to the outer corner, it doesn't take away from this pretty peach shade in the crease, and it doesn't become muddy, which there are high-end products on the market, high-end palettes that don't even do that, that the shadows become muddy, they're not buildable. They take a lot of work to get the pigmentation that we're getting from this Essence palette. And I just think that this color story with this peach is so beautiful. Just these coral tones look really good on almost all skin tones. So beautiful. And then taking the deepest brown shade in the palette, I'm going to use that, like I said, to deepen up my outer corner. This is a eyeshadow trick that I always do because it adds dimension to the eyes, and it makes your eyes look larger when you deepen up that outer corner. I always drag a little bit under my lower lash line. I also prefer a little bit more messy eye look, a little bit more blown out. Look how beautiful that brown layered. The peach is still intact. The brown layered beautifully on top of that. It just really blows me away every time I use this palette. And then using that same brush that I applied the coral shade, I'm just going to buff that in just so that the darker shade kind of seamlessly blends in with the coral shade. But you can see even with the blending, it did not take away from that deepness of the outer corner, which is exactly what I meant by how buttery and layerable these shadows are. With shimmer shades, sometimes I use a glitter glue, sometimes I don't, but I want to share with you my favorite glitter glue, favorite glitter primer. And again, it is from the brand NYX, and this is their glitter primer. This is just such a great product for shimmer. Not only does it help the shimmers layer really nicely on the eye, it helps them, it prevents them from creasing and lasting, and it makes them last all day. So I mean, I put the tiniest amount on my lid and then pat that in wherever you're going to apply shimmer. Now the hard part is picking the shimmer. So I think what I want to do is I think I'm going to go in with this corally colored shimmer that matches pretty well with this lighter matte shade. I like to apply my shimmers with a brush. I also like to apply my shimmers with my finger, because with the finger, I feel like you get really good payoff and you get beautiful color payoff, and you have a little bit of control as to where that shimmer is going. Can you see how beautiful this is? I'm focusing this just from about here to here. I am not putting shimmer over that darkest shadow because I want to keep that in place, and I want to use a lighter shimmer for the inner corner. Look at how beautiful that shimmer is. It's absolutely sparkly and stunning. I do want to use all the shimmers. I want to be able to show you all the shimmers. So what I'm going to do is, with one side of a little flatter brush, I'm going to go into this kind of taupey shimmer, and I'm going to focus that just on that area on the eye where it's blending from the peachy shimmer to the dark matte. Well, that's really pretty. That just adds a little bit of dimension and a little extra color. And then with the other side of that brush, we're going to go into the lightest shimmer in the palette. This is really pretty, and we're going to focus this on the inner corner. Oh, that is so pretty. That's pretty. It's kind of a goldy orange color. Wow, that is beautiful. So what I'm doing is just blending that right into that more corally colored shimmer shade. Again, with the same fluffy brush that we applied the coral matte, I am just going to do one last little blend before we do the lower lash line. I'm going to start with that darkest brown shade and kind of pull that under my lower lash line. Who else makes crazy faces when they apply makeup? I always have the weirdest faces. I'll edit these videos and go, okay, the faces. And then using the coral matte, I'm going to blend that in as well, just to lighten that up a little bit. And then lastly, with that pretty coral shimmer, I'm going to put that right under my lower lash line, but closest to my eye. I love a good sparkly lower lash line. For me, I feel like it adds a little bit of depth and dimension and just that little bit of extra sparkle under the eye. I do have a little bit of fallout. I don't know if you can see that right here, but because we set our face, it's really easy just to wipe any fallout away. And if you are ultra concerned about fallout, just do your eyes before you do your base makeup. But I find if I set my face, I can just wipe the fallout away. So I just want to show you the eyeshadow look. I think it's absolutely beautiful. There are several $3.99, $2.99, $3.99 palettes from Essence. Highly recommend the coral one, but all of the formulas are equally as good in all of the different little palettes. For liner, I'm actually using a dual-ended liner from Ulta Beauty. So this is the Ulta brand. I consider Ulta Beauty to be drugstore brand. I mean, you could really use any liquid or kohl liner, but this one I like because one end of it is a liquid liner and one end of it is a pencil or kohl liner. So you have a double purpose with this liner, and it's super affordable. Now for me, I prefer liquid liner. So I'm going to start my liquid liner by drawing just a tiny little wing. For my eye shape, I really like having a wing. I think that it elongates and makes my eyes look larger. And that's part of the reason why I just prefer liquid liner, because it's just easier to create that wing. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my wing in, and then I always just bring the liquid liner just closest to my lash line across my entire lid. I really like this eyeliner, and sometimes I do use the pencil to tightline, or I'll use it to put on my waterline if I want it to be a little bit more dark and dramatic. I wear a lot of artificial lashes, so mascara isn't really a huge deal to me. I'm a big proponent of drugstore mascara because I think, again, it rivals high-end, really expensive mascara. When I do not use lashes and just do mascara, the ColourPop Act Natural Mascara in black is the best. I think it is such a good formula. I will say that also the Essence Lash Princess, it's the black packaging with the green writing. It's $5 at the drugstore at Ulta, is really, really good. Equally as good as the ColourPop one. So if you don't want to order off the ColourPop website or they don't have it at your Ulta, equally as good one is the Essence. And I want to say this mascara is like $8 or $9. And again, the Essence is $5. I really like how big the wand is. And I find with this mascara that just one or two coats really not only adds length to my lashes, but also just adds a lot of volume. It's just such a great affordable mascara. So that's one coat. You can see just how much one coat does for your lashes. So for me, this is a 1 or 2 coat at the most mascara. It's just such a good quality drugstore mascara. And like I said, the Essence one, I would say is equally as good and even more affordable. I don't have any drugstore favorite lashes. Honestly, the lashes that I use come from Amazon. They are way more affordable than any other drugstore lash. You receive, I think, 30 pairs of lashes in 6 different designs for between $20 and $30, just depending on when you order from Amazon. So those are truly the lashes that I use the most. So I am going to use one of the fun little pairs from that Amazon kit. I'll link that whole box of lashes down below. The quality is so good, and that is such a good price. It's like less than $1 a pair of lashes. So I have 3D 215 today. These are a little bit more dramatic, darker, spikier. So because I am going out today, I'm going to go ahead and apply some lashes. So I just did 1 coat of mascara on my top lashes and then 2 coats of mascara on my lower lashes. My favorite lash glue comes from the brand Duo, and this is the brush on adhesive in dark. I really prefer brush on adhesive because I think it makes applying lashes a lot easier. You have more control how much glue and where the glue is going. So when you pop out your lashes, go ahead and give them a quick bend just to reshape them. And then I apply just 1 layer of lash glue. Make sure too that you're getting that lash glue all the way to the edge so your edges of your lashes aren't popping up throughout the day. I'll usually let it dry for just 5 seconds or so before applying to the lashes. Now you can use a lash applicator, tweezers, whatever you want to apply your lashes. I've gotten really good at just applying them with my fingers. So you're going to place the lash as close to your natural lash line as possible. You want them to blend in with your natural lashes. And then on the ends, I like to put the end of the lash just a little bit up from my natural lashes to give that more cat-eyed effect that also makes your eyes look bigger. And then I like to use a tweezer or something that I can get in and just push the lash down. Again, apply it and push it into place as close to your natural lash line as possible. I also like to make sure that all those ends are really pressed into place, again, so they don't pop up throughout the day. I find that this Duo glue lasts all day. And then I let my lashes dry completely, and then I'll show you the final step when applying false lashes. But while the lashes are drying securely into place, let's go ahead and move on to brows. We have another NYX product, and this one is still in the box. I actually just replaced the one that ran out. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I have mine in the shade Auburn, which is a perfect match for my hair and my brows. Here's what it looks like. So one end of it is your brow pencil, and it is a really nice fine tip, perfect for hair-like strokes. And then the other end, of course, is a spoolie. So starting with that pencil end, all I like to do is just flick and apply a little bit of color just to fill in my natural brows. And it is such a fine tip that it gives really, really realistic hair-like strokes, which I really appreciate. And then I do like to bring mine up just a little bit. And like I said, just fill in my natural brows. I have quite a bit of brows, and they get really, really, really long, and they're really, really full. So I don't necessarily need to draw in brows, but I do like to fill in any sparse areas and then kind of fill in this outer portion of my brows. It's just a really creamy formula. It works really well. And I have used Benefit Brow. I have used a lot of the more high-end brow pencils, and this one I like even more. And it's super, super affordable. The shade range of colors is really, really good. There's something for everyone. And I just think overall, not only does the product work better than some of the high ends, it's much, much more affordable. After I fill in my brows, I go ahead and use the spoolie end and just brush the hairs up before applying a brow gel. Now I have about a 3-step routine for my brows. So first is filling in and drawing in any sparse areas of my brows. And then I like to set my brows because they are long and crazy and out of control with a brow gel. I've shared this before. It's a holy grail for me. It's my all-time favorite. This is from Flower Beauty, and this is the Fiber Fix Brow Gel, and I have the shade Brunette. You can see that it has just the tiniest little spoolie, so it's perfect to get in and not only fill in your brows because it is tinted, but also brush them up and get them in place into the shape that you'd like to have them all day. And because there's fibers in here, you can see that it also fills in any sparse areas right along with your brow pencil. And then last but not least, I want to glue these suckers into place all day long. And I love, from the brand NYX, this is their brow glue. This works so good. So much better actually than any high-end brow glue that I've used. It is clear and it will keep your brows in place. Like through a windstorm, keep your brows in place. It is clear, so I just brush that through my brows. That's the final step, just to keep them in place all day. You can also use this for that more laminated brow effect if you like to brush your hairs up and then hold them into place. This one works really well for that as well. But for me, I just like a little bit more defined brow, but a filled in brow, a defined brow, and brows that stay all day. So this is such a great product. Before we do the final step of my routine, which is my lips, let's go ahead and finish out our lashes. So once the lash glue is dried completely, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to press your natural lash in with the artificial lash. Any mascara that you put on is going to help your natural lashes stick to the artificial lashes, making them look a little bit more natural. And then there's no gap between your natural lashes and the false lashes. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I just take my finger and just brush up just to reshape those false lashes into the perfect look for the day. I really like these lashes from Amazon, highly recommend. I have a lot of NYX products in today's video. NYX is just such a great brand. I have one of my favorite lip liners also from NYX. This is their lip pencil, and this is in the shade Ever. It's kind of a peachy brown, which I think is going to look really good with today's eye look. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. I do like to overline my upper lip just a little bit. You can see this is such a pretty color. And these lip liners, I want to say, are like $4. They're so creamy. They go on so seamlessly. I have so many NYX lip liners because they're such good quality. And I'm going to go in with the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Fudge Me. This is a more sienna brown gloss. What I like about the butter gloss, they're not super pigmented. I mean, it definitely adds some color, but they're really comfortable on the lips. They kind of are a mix between a liquid lipstick and a gloss. And you can see just how pretty this shade is. It definitely looks like a darker brown in the packaging, but I think it pairs really nicely with this lip liner. I also want to share with you another product from NYX that I love that's pretty new to their line. This is the NYX This Is Milky Gloss. These are beautiful lip glosses. This one's actually one of my favorites, and this is in the shade Timber. So with today's look, I mean, I think either one of these would have been really nice looking. I love this Fudge Me color. I end up reaching for that one a lot, and that's saying a lot because I have hundreds of lip products, and I generally reach for this particular one from NYX pretty regularly. There's one other product that I want to share with you, and sometimes it's sold out on the Ulta website, but it's a really good product. It could be a replacement for the Maybelline Fit Me powder, or a lot of times what I'll do is apply this to my face after I've applied the rest of my makeup, so at this point in the process. This is also from Flower Beauty, and this is a spray powder. It's called the Jet Set Finishing Invisible Powder Spray. This is a really, really good product. If you have oily skin, highly recommend using this when you're done with your makeup. So at this point in the process, because it's pretty mattifying. When you apply it to the face, it really gives you a canvassed look to the skin. It's pretty incredible. You just spray it on just like you would spray on hairspray, and it really is a great setting powder. As you know, I like to be a little bit more dewy and glowy, but I wanted to share this with you because either one of these are great drugstore brands. This one, especially if you have oily skin, it can be a complete game changer. So that is a full face of drugstore makeup. I really like how my look turned out today. I think it is summery, it's bright, it's pretty, it's on the neutral side. It's not as dramatic as I like in looks. You guys know I love a good colorful, dramatic eye look, but I really like how it turned out. I think it fits really nicely with the outfit that I'm wearing today. And I have to say that the overall quality of every single product that I used was 10 out of 10. They were such great products. And like I said, you don't have to spend a lot of money on makeup. Save your money for skincare and focus on drugstore makeup, because there are some fantastic products out there. Again, everything I used today will be linked down below for you, along with my favorite beauty subscription boxes. And of course, don't forget to come on over, follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. Thumbs up today's video if you enjoy full faces of drugstore makeup, and of course, subscribe and turn your bell on so you never miss a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.